another relatively cold day, and I thought I would do a quick review of what I've learned over the last 30 days. It's been about a month since I've been in the van. One thing I've learned is I've still got that stupid coolant leak I've got to take care of. So I'm going to have to put this in the shop for some indeterminate length of time. It's minor, but it's a pain. The other main issue is issues that when you first start, you ignore conventional wisdom and you try to do it your own way, and you find out that conventional wisdom is there for a reason. The main thing is, it is just difficult to keep your van in any kind of order. I am getting a little solar today. It's a cloudy day, but not that cloudy. So you know, this is the junky inside of this van, and the thing is, it's just plain difficult to keep it clean. You've got to have a constant battle of keeping it clean, and the main thing is the bed. Building a bed is a good idea because you need something that goes all the way to the floor, because just like in your house, things will get under your bed. And unlike in your house, when things get under your bed, it becomes a disaster area. So you've got to constantly work on that. So that's one thing I learned very quickly. Another thing I learned is generators. Generators are very important unless you are absolutely sure that you have enough solar. I did not have enough solar, but when I first started, of course, my solar was always full, because once I got it in there, I had solar in my vehicle, but I wasn't draining it on a consistent basis. So the solar wasn't a big, the solar appeared to be limitless because I wasn't putting any demands on it. But as you put demands on it, your solar will very quickly show you that you don't have enough, if you don't have enough. So that's another thing. Also, yeah, and the mechanical issues are a pain. I'm still trying to figure out where that leak of the coolant is coming from, because I really like to know exactly the source of my problem before I carry it to a mechanic. And no, I don't trust many mechanics. A very good friend of mine who is an extraordinary mechanic passed away, and he was probably the only mechanic that I have ever really trusted. And I have the skill to do all the things I need to do, but I don't actually have a place to do it. In the back, the generators here, you now see two. Two is definitely overkill, but I did buy two. I bought the smaller one, and then I bought the 2,000 watts. I think the smaller one's about 800. And I've had to use this to supplement the power on this thing, because we've had about 3 or 4 days of no sunshine. And also, I definitely overbought on my inverter. It's a 3,000 watt inverter, and I probably should have had half of that at most, because I don't use that many 110 volt equipment. So that was not smart. I'm not going to get rid of it. I just got to realize I have to switch it on when I need it and switch it off when I don't. The other 2 or 3 days ago, I didn't do it, and then I drained myself down to sub-functional levels. Not enough to damage the battery bank, I don't believe, but I did have to stick the generators on to bring it back up. The major issue in storage, and don't forget these are important. The major issue in storage is clothes. Clothes are a nightmare. Not clean clothes or clothes you folded. I've got some folded jeans and pants in that little it's called a cabinet, but it's a little canvas carrier. And but the thing is, clothes get dirty, and you don't put your dirty clothes back where you had your clean clothes, so suddenly it begins to fill up the van. So that's a gotcha. And I've got several things I got to eliminate out of here. In any case, I do like the cargo nets. I think that was a practical idea. I also got off of YouTube, and I think that's going to make my life considerably easier. You see more wet ones over there. You know, 'cause you don't get the showers often as you would like, but you know, you do it as often as you can. So I am working on getting that down a little bit better. Also, if you are in a cold climate, propane will kill you in price. I'm using these small bottles, but I do have the hose here, so eventually I'll get a full-size bottle. And I'm going to have to make a garage. I didn't make a garage. I didn't think it was necessary, but as you see, just automatically, there's a tool chest under there. There's the emergency commode. There's now the clothes are here, the 2 generators. Just normally, as things go, everything begins to move to the back for storage. So that's something you've got to be aware of. The Mr. Heater, I've got it sort of anchored there so it doesn't flop around. I need to tie it down a little better. You know, today was not that cold. It's probably in the 50s or 60s now, so this was a good day. You know, 30s and 40s, you begin to feel it a little bit in Texas, especially when you're not used to it. So that's something you've got to be aware of. Maintenance, don't forget maintenance. I did have to buy a battery last night. My other battery was pretty good, but I did get a better, bigger, more starting power battery on there. You know, that's part of the maintenance I need to do. So I won't have that to do next week or next couple of weeks, when I have to put this thing probably in the shop to get it looked at. Like I said, I could do that myself, but I really don't have a place to do it, so I might be it's going to inconvenience me for a bit. I've been struggling along putting more coolant in there, but that's not a solution. In any case, I had this little rechargeable vacuum down here. I've got to get a new charging cable for it. It's probably buried in somewhere in my storage, but I'll have to find that. Right now I have this 12 volt, so I can use it for short spurts to clean up a little bit. Also, I have a lot of blankets, which is kind of stupid, and I will be getting rid of that moving blanket. It's going back into storage. I took it out before and it's still out, but I need to get it back into storage, and at least I can get that minimized. But I just wanted to give you a quick rundown. Some things I have learned is you have to leverage your resources if you're going to do this. If you work in an office that has either 24/7, people working at nights, you do have access to restrooms and stuff at times when some people wouldn't. And that's I'm specifically talking about urban van dwellers here, and not the people, not the road warriors I respect so much. So I do leverage that. It also gives you a facility to recharge some things if you need your phone, so you don't have to charge off of your vehicle. Though often I end up doing it because I forget to recharge at work. And other rechargeable things you can do if you've got the right to do so, or the permission to do so. Don't endanger your employment because of that. I did add a couple of more tools, and the front looks just as bad as the back. I'm going to have to clean that out. So what I'll be doing every weekend, I've just got to take a day to just clean everything out. I've still, if you notice, I've still got that coolant leak. I don't know exactly what I'm going to be doing about that. Well, I'm going to put him in the shop. I really have no choice. So that's going to be inconveniencing as I'll get out. So I'll have to get out of the van for a day or two to get that taken care of. But I do want to spot the problem myself, so I can know when I get the diagnosis whether I'm getting a good diagnosis or I'm getting a mechanic's run around. I did put this little bit of insulation. This is I think this is basically a window seal, door seal here. I have trouble closing it when I've done this, but it does close all the way. And this was an area where there was some light coming through, and where there's light, there's a lack of insulation. So I want to give you a quick rundown.